evening, everybody. My name is Yvette Limon. I'm the Bridge Director, and I'm excited to have our first Port of Entry Advisory Committee meeting. Thank you all for taking time from your busy schedules to be here. It's important, excited, and we have 3 items on the agenda. So it is 6:09, and we'll call this meeting to order. I'm gonna go ahead and do roll call. Mr. Gene Lindgren.
Present.
Guillermo T. Mr. Rafael.
Present.
Mr. Arturo Dominguez.
Here.
Mr. Milo Richard III.
Here.
Quick. Mr. William Young.
Here.
Gonzalo Frida.
Here.
Ms. Monica Salinas. Here. Mr. Jerry Hinojosa.
Here.
Mr. Gerardo Maldonado.
Present.
And our non-voting members, Ms. Yolanda Malagon and Mr. Ricardo Cervantes. Staff quorum. For citizen comments, our next topic on the agenda, do we have any public or citizen comments? None virtual, none here present.
I'm sorry. I would like to bring up a topic whenever that is for the project on Mines Road. So whenever it's time to do something, to speak of something, then I would like to bring that up.
Okay, sure. Our next section on the agenda is items for discussion. The first item is selection of the chairman and vice chairman. So if I can.
If I may, excuse me, if maybe we could give some sort of direction of what this committee is. I don't know what it's for,
sure.
what the mission is,
All
so
right.
that way we could all have a clear understanding, you know, moving forward of what
Definitely.
Director Limon, could you please repeat, because we didn't hear anything that
Mr. Puig was
Mr. Puig was saying if I can brief the committee and advise some of the duties and powers of the committee so that everyone has the information and I guess expectations and guidance on this committee. So that is what I'm going to read off of
just basically our mission.
the duties. It says the duties and powers. The Laredo Port of Entry Advisory Committee will advise City Council with matters regarding developing and diversifying the economy of Laredo by encouraging the enhancement of the city's ports to facilitate commerce through comprehensive planning and strategic involvement in multimodal transportation, development, management, operations, commercial processing, international matters, feasibility studies, infrastructure, and any other matters incident thereto. And we said that the committee is, yes ma'am, go ahead.
Sure. So I created this committee. This committee is brand new. The city hasn't had a committee like this one, at least for a while, right? Have we ever?
No, we had many years ago. We had a Blue Ribbon International Trade Committee, but not an advisory committee.
Right. And so actually, Arturo Dominguez was the one that kind of brought this up to my attention when I was campaigning, and then after I got elected, we kind of talked about it more. And so I don't know if you want to add something to it.
Well, basically, it's an advisory committee for council. If we need to ask something or they need to ask us something, then we can at least have our comments, and then we have Nuevo Laredo, which is important that whatever we do here, sometimes
whether it has to do with commerce or pedestrian crossing, tractor, trailer, or anything, the recommendations that we see that might benefit or better the city.
Correct. Okay. Right, like sometimes we have I guess, logistical issues. I think we're, item 3, you know, is one of those issues, right? So, in trying to make the bridge, traffic flow more efficiently, without also having to, let's say, if we want to raise fees or things like that, we don't want to just make those decisions without consulting with the community and the trade industry first.
So we'll be given some sort of budget for what the bridges make and what the bridges allocate their funds for in order to make those type of recommendations and see how much monies every year funds are allocated in order for them to operate your facility.
Yes, sir. We'll bring those, like on our next meetings, we'll jot down ideas and items of discussion that you would like to discuss, and we'll incorporate those. I will provide our revenue status and traffic crossings at our meetings. Of course, you don't have to wait for these meetings to get our stats. They're online on our city's webpage. But yes, I can bring those items for discussion. We can, once our next meeting and we go through our budget workshops, I can bring the budget and present the budget or answer any questions that you may have after we present and discuss the budget. That's gonna be coming up within the next 2 weeks. So if they have any follow-up questions or.
I just want to make sure that I'm willing to tell you I haven't done my homework. So I need to go in and dig in and see those type of things in order to make proper recommendations that make any sense, especially to you guys that are in the business.
Can I add to that? Yeah, so that's where the agenda is going to be helpful. So if you see something on the agenda that you're not sure about, feel free to call any of us to get some background, or Ms. Limon can provide background. That's usually how we do it for council, right? If I know that something's coming up, I want to get all the information on it and stuff like that. So, but you know, this committee is hopefully strengthen the relationships, because the people here are the presidents of their respective industries and then leaders in the industry. So these are really you guys are really the people that are at the top, you know, in this industry. And so that's why it's important to have all of you in one location, so that I think it's going to make things easier for us. I mean, Laredo is the largest in 94 and we want to stay that way. We don't want to make sure that we're doing everything the right way. If you have an idea or a suggestion, then we would want to know so we can work towards that and just improve our city for all of us and everyone. So I think that's the goal, is just to look for things that we can improve and make improvements, or look for things that are working and make sure they stay that way. And things that are, you know,
might not work.
Not work and then go back.
Working and so
make
it work.
Right. So I think that's where kind of this whole, and I want to thank everybody for being here. I know that your time is extremely valuable, and it means a lot to the city for you all to be here.
Okay, with that, the next item number 1 under discussion is the selection of the chairman and vice chairman. So if I can entertain a motion to open it up for nominations, and
I want to nominate Jerry Maldonado if I can as chairperson.
I have a question.
yes.
How long does what are the terms for the chairman and the co-chair? Is it 1 year or 2 years, or what is it that?
Doesn't specify it. I think it's a year.
It doesn't say in the it doesn't say in the bylaws.
No, it doesn't say.
It's for 1 year below.
1 year term and shall be eligible for re-election on Article 6 officers.
Article 6?
Yes.
1 year.
And what are the voting rights for the chair and the co-chair? Or is it everybody has voting rights, or are voting rights in the committee different?
All of you all have voting rights. The main committee members, the only 2 that are ex officio with non-voting rights are Ms. Malagon right now, the president of the Associación of Agentes Aduanales de Nuevo Laredo, and the representative from Columbia Solidarity, Codefron. Ricardo, I see you there. Welcome. And all the other committee members, you all here present have voting rights.
Perfect. Thank you.
I will second the motion from Monica.
There's a motion and a second. Any discussion on the nominee of Mr. Jerry Maldonado as chairman?
I guess we should ask him if he'd be willing to accept.
Yes, yes, thank you. Yes.
Okay, he has accepted. I need a vote on the selection of Jerry Maldonado as chairman for the Port of Entry Advisory Committee.
Excuse me, I would like to propose Arturo Dominguez as chairman.
Okay.
As chairman or vice chairman?
As chairman.
As chairman, okay. We have two nominees for chairman. Okay, well, does anybody want to second Mr. Prida's motion to also nominate Arturo Dominguez if he accepts the nomination?
Well, there's a motion on the
One
floor.
And a second.
So we'll have to modify.
Okay, so
Or we need to vote on the motion. The right thing to do is vote on the motion. If
I make a motion.
Then they can the motion.
Or we can
modify right, to
both of
include
them.
both, or if there's any other nominees for.
Yvette, may I speak? I make a motion to the table en apego a la justicia de los que faltan. Podríamos dejarlo para la próxima junta.
But then we are going to be waiting for the people, and the committee is not going to move on. I think we need to get the things done. I mean, majority are here. We have quorum, we can vote.
Who else?
Okay, pero mi moción ya está puesta. My motion is in the table, please.
To move to the next motion, we need to take.
I second the motion from Mr. Dueñas.
Table comes to your original motion.
Yeah, we want to table the item and wait till District 1, 2, and 3 nominate their or appoint their member.
But they've had, well, yeah, they've had a lot.
We need to make budget, right? So we need to move on. Then we have capable people that are here. I don't know who else wants to be.
Okay, so I think what we'll do is like motion to table on the floor with a second and then vote on that. If that dies, then we go back to the original motion.
Did you guys hear that?
No, what was it? I'm sorry.
Okay, the motion to table the selection of the chairman and the vice chairman has been presented and seconded, but we need to take a vote on that motion and see if the members, what their decision is, if it's to table. So I need,
I'd like to modify, amend the motion to table it for the next meeting, and that's it. Hopefully we'll have everybody sold out.
I couldn't hear what Mr. Dominguez said, sorry.
The motion is to amend the motion to add for the next meeting, to table it for the next meeting, not till they fill out all the members.
That's good.
okay.
Mr.
Well,
Dueñas accepts the amendment and the motion.
okay, then can I have a vote on tabling the selection of the chairman and the vice chairman until our next meeting?
Yes. Aye.
Okay,
Aye.
How many?
Aye.
Let me do roll call. Mr. Jean Lindgren,
Aye.
I'm sorry, at what time did we have discussion over this? I'm new at this, so I need to, when do we discuss? I have a question. What is the reason for waiting on something like this? If the meeting today was to set this up, I don't understand the reason why we're waiting. We have enough.
Don't vote on table, we'll get the next.
Yeah, right now
we're just voting to table the item. So, can I have roll call? Mr. Lindgren?
Yes or no?
Yes or no to table the selection of the chairman and vice chairman?
Yes.
Mr. Guillermo Tisch?
Yes.
Mr. Luis Hinojosa?
No.
Mr. Rafael Dueñas?
Yes, table.
Mr. Dominguez? Mr. Michel?
Yes.
Mr. Quigg?
No.
Mr. Young?
No.
Mr. Frida?
Yes.
Mrs. Salinas? No. Mr. Hinojosa?
Yes.
And Mr. Maldonado?
No.
No, okay. 7 yes. 5 no. So we table it for our next meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just discussion on that. The only reason I voted to table that was to, like Mr. Quick said, let's see who wants to, and then we can put that and we'll have it something for the next one. That way we can all digest, okay, these are the two that want to go, and we can vote on who wants to be, or who votes to be the chair and the vice chair.
So my suggestion is to make a motion then to have Ms. Limon poll to see who's interested, so that we can vote on all the interested chairmen for the next
meeting. Yes, I'll do that. Okay.
Do you want a motion for her to do that?
Hey, Councilwoman, so moved.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, I will.
And a vice
And a
chair.
second.
And a vice.
I second the motion.
Okay. And this will be for the selection of the chairman and the vice chairman. To vote, right? So can I
So
have?
you will present options at the next meeting for vote?
Or you will
Or
ask.
you want to take a poll?
Or I
and
can,
then-
right, I can open it up for you all to send me an email as to the nominations, and I will have for the next meeting, the nominations from the members, and then
We can vote then for
Right.
chair and vice chair with
Right.
whomever, 5 options, 10 options, whatever
Right.
option. Okay.
right,
Or I understood that probably right now you were gonna do it to see, so we all could see who's interested in the position and then be prepared for a vote for next meeting. Is it not, or how are we gonna know beforehand who is interested?
Until the next meeting, they're gonna be presenting the names
Another
on
month.
the results from the poll.
Okay,
And again, I get the other
the
selected
other 3
members.
appointees by then, and yeah.
The poll will be run on the next meeting, or shall we just appoint the people who will join?
La moción ya pasó. Si pudiéramos seguir mejor con los siguientes items, sería bueno.
Okay.
In order to have a chair and a vice chair, you need a nomination. Maybe the people that is interested send you an email, and then you send it to the committee.
Right.
So we can nominate whoever we want, because you can be interested, but if you are not nominated, are you gonna be?
You can nominate yourself. I
Right.
That was exactly the question. Yeah.
And I can note it on the agenda for the next meeting as to who has been nominated for chairman and vice chairman, so that you can know ahead of time, so that when we meet, you already have the names of who have been nominated.
Also, Yvette, I don't know if it's the right time to mention this, but I think as we invite the Asociación de Agentes Aduanales de Nuevo Laredo, we should have in the table somebody from Canacar or Central de Carga or the new Association of Transportation from the Mexico without a vote, because I think they can bring also things to the table. I mean, there's no carriers here, only Jerry Maldonado, and they are the primary user also from the bridge, and we don't have nobody from the other side.
Okay.
Pero, yo pienso que es correcto de que lo pongamos en la agenda y lo veamos la próxima junta, porque si vamos a especular toda la tarde y vamos a tratar de que estas juntas, por el volumen de miembros, pues sean un poco más cortas. Entonces yo sí sugiero que lo pongamos en la agenda y veamos el siguiente item.
Ok. Claro que sí, Mr. Dueñas.
We have to stick to the agenda.
Yes, yes.
We can't talk about it.
Right. Okay, item number 2. I am proud to provide to you the first draft of the Laredo Bridge System Master Plan. I will give it to the members in electronic format. You can review it and redline it, and then provide it back to me so that I can give it to the consultants. Because of some of the members that are out on travel, and in order to provide this to you all upon your return to Laredo, what do you think of giving you till next Friday for review and provide comments? Is that ample time for you to review it and provide me comments?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they're electronic. So I will.
Are you going to give a presentation?
No presentation at this time yet, because it is just for review and comment. Once we receive all the comments, it's been provided to mayor and council. It's been provided to our city management. You all are getting a copy of the draft. It will be presented also to the Planning and Zoning Committee. Once we receive all those comments, incorporate them into the document, and then once their SMB infrastructure is ready, they'll come to council and present the final master plan.
Do you have some highlights or some main points on it that we can kind of consider maybe? Because I know I got the binder.
Right. No, yeah, it's lengthy. No, I don't have like highlights or make any kind of suggestions, or we're still also going through it very carefully because it is the first master plan. But I will be available for any questions or that the committee members may have. Feel free to give me a call, send me an email.
So what is the purpose of the master plan though?
The purpose of the bridge master plan is to guide us, city leaders, mayor, council, on decision-making in the future for our bridges, whether it be infrastructure, the needs of the 4 international bridges. That's what this master plan encompasses. It does not cover anything related to the financial side, mainly infrastructure and improving our processes and efficiency in processing our the different modes of.
And your master plan is for how long? This master plan, is it updated every 2 years?
Well, this master plan is the first one. Okay. So once we get this one going and working on it, then we'll see. I think it's like 5 years. They update it every 5 years, but we'll look into that. It covers forecasts for 20 plus years. So I will be providing it to you all for review and comments, and I'll be available to answer any questions you may have. For those members that are out of the city, upon your return, feel free to make contact with me or send me an email as to where I can deliver the USB with the electronic file of the master plan.
So it's too big to send out as one file?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I
I just wanted to make comment on some of the data. I helped out for the planning and zoning department in regards to SMB and their data requests. And so we are matching our models with the MPO is doing with their TDM, which is a transportation demand model. They absorbed that and created their modeling and added other stuff that they were doing, other routes that they were looking at for efficiencies. It's a bridge capacity master plan, so trying to increase capacities and increase efficiencies. And so they wanted to see all our future roads, future thoroughfares. What were we doing on the city side to alleviate some of this traffic congestion? And so we just shared, again, future thoroughfare plans, the data within the model, and developments that were already in line for the platting and zoning process. So that way they got a real, up-to-date information on what was happening in the Mines Road area. Mr. Maldonado, you asked about the Mines Road project, the proposed one from TxDOT. We included that in their data delivery, so that way they could incorporate that into their study. What would those turns do for traffic? So they have their numbers, and I won't want to repeat any of them just because they might have been refined, but it seems like they're working towards providing us a better solution and planning on what those impacts will be. So it's a little bit on our end.
Thank you, Jason.
And this is the plan that was going to be paid with the increase of the total, right? The bridge total.
Yes, yes.
Sí, Ivette, mi estimado, reforzando lo que dice Jason, en Planning and Zoning nos mandan toda la información por mail y es disponible para el comité. No sé si aquí podamos hacer lo mismo, que tú mandes toda la información antes de la junta. Normalmente nos llega toda la información jueves o viernes para la junta que tenemos al siguiente jueves, disponible a todos los miembros del comité, y con eso estaría bien, electrónica o por mail. Así lo hacemos con Jason. Gracias. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Dueñas, está muy grande el archivo, no lo puede mandar por email.
Well, vamos a intentar a ver si lo podemos mandar por Hightail o a ver Yeah, it is a lengthy document, but I'll look into the different methods of providing it to you. My technician is here. If we can provide it to you through Hightail, I think it'll be able to be delivered through email. Or Dropbox. Or Dropbox. Both. Hightail or Dropbox.
Los archivos de
PC or Google Drive would make it Director Limon.
It's a little dangerous these days.
Right.
What we do in the planning department, we just publish the stuff to our website, and we're able to put that in there. So if that's needed, we can break it up into several sections and put it up on our website.
Could probably load it to the
just like the agendas. I mean, sometimes the agendas are 1,400 pages, and I don't print them all.
Yeah. I'll look into that so that I can provide it to you sooner. So my technician is here. We'll meet discuss this after the meeting, and we'll get it to you electronically. I have your email addresses.
Perfect.
Okay. And the next item, it says discussion of a proposed is insufficient fund fee at the toll booths and any other matters incident thereto. And I'm bringing this to you. We've had day-to-day, we have, for the most part, it does occur on the non-commercial side, but most of the disruption is on the commercial side. We get trucks that get to the toll booth and they arrive and the gate doesn't open because of insufficient funds. Oh. Their AVI account does not have enough funds to cover their toll crossings. So in the process, I know it's hard, Cesar, I don't know if you can load it, share the screen for the ones that are virtual. I have a diagram here. The trucks come in here. This is what we call the checkpoint, okay? When a truck gets to the toll booth and there's no...
He's putting up the picture. Or do you want to move it a little more? It's kind of small.
Kind of small, but then
if you look at the monitor up there,
we'll just see it. Let him share the screen and he can use the cursor to... We'll blocking them. Can they see that? They're
You
not.
can see it on their side.
Can you all see that
Can
drawing?
you see that drawing?
No.
Share screen.
Sure, the green.
Hit the bottom.
No, the bottom one. Can you see that screen?
There it is. Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. So can you use the cursor as I speak? Can you use the cursor to signal on the image? Okay, perfect. So we get trucks that approach the toll booth and they have no funds in their account. So what we have to do, of course, our staff at the toll booth has to call the front office inside to verify. Can you check account 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Do they have funds? No, no funds. We can't let them go through, right? So what staff does is they have to stop the traffic at the checkpoint, get the truck to U-turn, come back through lane 1, and then out. Okay? Sometimes they say, no, I don't want to go back and then come get in line again. So they U-turn in here, park where these trucks are at, get down, go to our front office, deposit, come back, get in their truck and go. In that process, we hold everybody else. It's an inconvenience to everybody else that does have funds and at times costs back up onto the loop. Any moment that we hold traffic here, it causes a backup. Okay, they get to the lane, we U-turn them, they're out, and then we let everybody come through. After a while, we get another no funds. We have to do the same process.
How
often does this happen?
How often? Okay, I kind of got this idea and said, maybe we can do something. I started tracking it. I thought about it in May, staff monitored it in June. For the month of June, we had 483 for no funds. It is disruption, and we give them, we've been giving them notices. Please tell your bosses, the account owners to deposit so that when they get to the lanes, they don't cause an inconvenience to everybody else. So that's why that's why I'm bringing this item to you all to see if you all agree with charging them some type of a penalty fee going into it.
Is it the same companies all the time? I mean, do you have a statistic to see if it's
Sometimes
the same
it is.
company?
Yes, it varies. There's some companies, we call the owners. We've communicated to the owners, but they get to the lanes and sometimes the truck gets there quicker than the runner. I mean, there's a lot of ways to make deposits to the ADI account. We provide that notice to the account holders, to the drivers, take them to your bosses. It's online, it's in person, it's over the phone. There's several ways to deposit. So I'm bringing this to the committee to see what.
I think something like a first time pass, okay, and then on the second and forward, I think that I should agree on a fine because it does create chaos. And 430 times a month, it's probably 10 times a day or 12. So that's once every hour.
Right. Well, that's why I'm bringing this item for discussion to you all to see what you think, because like any proposed fee, we have the whys, and so I'm bringing it up for you all to.
How hard would it be to put a reader of that at the checkpoint? And when they go through the checkpoint, if they see a red light automatically, that means they have no funds. Immediately pull them over and not allow them to go all the way over there and come back. I cross myself, and when I get the yellow light, I'm like,
Well, we have
to go deposit.
We have the lane terminal inside the toll booth because they check not only for funds, for oversight or overweights. They check the weights, they count the axles. So until it comes through our toll collection system, we won't know how many axles or what the toll will be. So we have to, unfortunately, that is calculated when it gets to the toll booth.
What I was referring to is, as an example, what does it cost to cross a 5-axle truck, which is the most common? $23.75. So maybe that sensor can read if their account at least has $24, the minimum. And if it does, then it'll let it through. And if at that point it doesn't have the $24, if it's a bobtail or less axles, then it's a suggestion to, and I can understand, you know, it's 483 times,
Right.
that's a lot of time. That is ridiculous.
How long does it take to get one truck to go back around in time? Because that's where you're gonna measure.
They have to wait for everyone else. They have to wait.
All across,
Yeah.
all these businesses
Yeah.
are losing
Yep.
money because
Yep.
of that.
Yep.
And it's just an ongoing thing, and
Right.
you gotta hit
Right.
them hard.
Right. Well, that's why I'm bringing this to the committee
Yeah,
and
And then-
decide.
And in District 7,
Probably-
that's where all the traffic backs up and blocks the people
Yes,
from driving,
yes,
and they get,
yes.
every time I think this happens,
Yes.
I get calls.
Yes.
The bridge is backed up,
Yes.
and sometimes we
Yes.
blame Mexico, but
Yes.
it's not.
It's not, it's sometimes.
Is that like 30-minute delay?
No, it
It
should
could
be
take a
anywhere
couple of
between
minutes.
3 to 5 minutes.
But if you add
at
it
the
up,
most.
To drive a
But
truck all the way
those
around the
5
thing.
minutes right now, peak time, will back it up.
that's 2 traffic
Past the
lights
Mines Road
full of
overpass.
trucks that are gonna
Right,
back up.
Right,
Thanks,
and it
Ken.
happens because it backs up,
Thanks, Ken.
and as soon as we're done doing the U-turn, we let them go through and it clears up. And then we get another one, and it varies. It could be, Ken, on Monday, was there after the system came back on and we started processing everything that was in queue. They only had one no funds U-turn within that time period. So it varies. Sometimes there's than other times, but
I have a
nonetheless.
proposal. Probably the sensor that they're talking about could be at least some information for the driver to know that he has a low balance, but probably what about if we think in a credit line for all the AV's accounts, and that credit line could close by the end of the day, and it could actually go and create like a credit card or an account that has been set up on the system. So at the end of the day, they will be charged the amount that they consumed, and you can leave like an open credit for that account, so you don't stop any traffic at the booth.
You become a bank.
Well, you do have a lot of
No,
that.
no, no.
No, collection.
No,
giving
create a
the-
secondary way of paying,
Yeah.
backup credit card. So if you don't have funds on the first option, you go to the on the system.
That's
to the
right.
credit card.
The problem is that the people that don't have the funds in the first option are not gonna have funds in the second option.
Right.
So-
The thing is.
But then the third option could be that they're going to be fined. Probably if they have a backup credit card, yeah, and they have overdraft, then the credit card will pay and nothing happens. But if they go and the credit card doesn't pass, then they will be fined, and it could be like an easy solution for the problem. I don't know what you all think of.
We do offer that option. We call it credit card replenishment. The account owner identifies an amount and says, okay, if my account balance goes below $100, charge my credit card $50 or $25 or $20. They specify, but they have to enroll in that type of program.
And
We
that
can't
option
force
is active
everybody
right
to
now.
do
So
it. Right.
I would suggest, before we explore a fine, evaluate how much it would cost to put a reader of balance. And like I don't even know what mine on my personal vehicle when I cross, but when the yellow light turns on, I think I have $30 left.
Right.
So you can't go into a system and see how far.
They can see all that.
Yes.
But the problem is they're not doing it.
Right. Well, the problem is that the account owner doesn't give the drivers access to view the account.
So unfortunately, the owner of the account, me, myself, I own an account, I have access to see that, but clearly 483 times the owners of those accounts didn't care. So my suggestion would be at the checkpoint, you put a reader and it's either green or red.
Right.
There's no yellow on that one.
Right.
And if they don't have enough money for a 5-axle, then automatically it goes red. and you turn them to the right,
that's easier
and
to
then,
kind of get 'em
right,
out
yes.
here,
So
rather than
ahí
get all the
mismo.
way here and then-
right there.
Una moción. De repente hablan al mismo tiempo 2 o 3 gentes y los que estamos en línea no los escuchamos. Como moción de orden, pidan el uso de la palabra y cuando termine de hablar alguien, pues se concede su uso de la palabra porque acá está muy complicado escucharlos a 3 gentes a la vez. Gracias.
Okay, Mr. Mena.
Pido la palabra. So, poner ese sensor y que el sensor, ahí mismo el oficial le puede decir, oye, está rojo, obvio, no tienes los $23, $24. ¿Traes dinero en efectivo para pagar? ¿Sí o no? Si sí trae, pues se va a la derecha y paga. Si no, ahí mismo se sale. Ahí mismo ya lo mandarían. Sería mi opinión, ¿cuánto costaría? Porque eso también va a tener un costo.
Right.
If I may, can that sensor be moved further out, not further in? So that way it gives them a chance to turn around somewhere else. And
Right.
not-
Well, it will be at the checkpoint.
Here, so that they can come out.
Right at the
and
checkpoint.
go out.
So that would help and alleviate them going to the booth, red light, no money, wait until everybody clears, make the U-turn, come back around and make all those decisions. I think that, I mean, it's gonna cost the city.
Right.
But it's a way to help. I mean, out of those
Wait.
483, probably half have the money and half don't, I don't know. But if you don't, then automatically right there you get them out and it should be a lot easier or faster way of getting them out to help the traffic.
But, I'm sorry, go Arthur. But still, do we put that sensor? And if that company keeps going with red, we need to give them like 2 warnings, and then the third, it has to be a penalty because they are always going to be the same, because they need to be responsible to have that funds on that, because it's not affecting just one truck, it's affecting all the trade.
Right.
So even if we put the sensor, we need to put, you're going to have 2 or 3 warnings, but you are going to be penalized if you keep going on red, the same company.
That costs the city money. Costs the city a lot of money when you have to do all the other stuff, turn them back. Right. So we should find them to get the city back its money. Because why should we spend money because they don't have any to cross? It's not right.
I think the worst penalty is to send them back. If they don't have the money, to send them back and start the line again. That's a huge penalty right there. To start the line again.
I was going to add, in any industry, telecommunications, oil and gas, if you have downtime, they're charging the company money. And so this is a World Trade Bridge, number one. So if you're not giving a carrot and a stick, then they're just going to keep doing it. And not that I'm up for fines, but if you're speeding and you keep getting away with it until you get a ticket, you might slow down.
Well, they talked about a warning. I think Mr. Vicente said something about a warning.
Yeah, 2 warnings and then a penalty.
Open for the committee to decide if they want just to kind of 1 warning, 2 warnings, and then fine. And if that's.
Can you bring a proposal to the next meeting?
I can.
And say, this is what you suggested you ought to do that'll work for the efficiencies in your bridge.
I can do that for next time.
And Miss Limon, what would be a fine that would be relevant to the situation? And I'm guessing this would have to also go through city council.
Right.
What would be a number that they would be comfortable with? We're talking about $20, $30, $40, or we're talking about $75 to $100?
Well, I was thinking more in the range of $50. I mean, it costs you, most of the trucks we process are 5-axle trucks. Their toll fee $3.75. So maybe $50. I was thinking $50. You get to the lane, you don't have funds, we'll fine you the $50. We U-turn them. They have to pay the $50 and they're gonna have to pay their toll anyway when they come back. But it's up to you all to concur with that fee, or
every time is
and are you proposing that we let them through and charge their account an NSF for $50, or they still get charged, but they still have to go and deposit at that moment, and they're going to be waiting there for somebody to come and deposit for them?
Right, we're proposing to charge their ABI account the penalty fee, but not let them go through, because then if they're already negative and we're going to charge them the fee, and then they're told they're going to run their account more negative, and some choose not to use the account anymore and leave us with a negative account, and as much of collection letters we send, sometimes they don't come to deposit into the account.
Is this still old school where they're having to switch boxes with trucks, or these guys are going straight into Mexico all the way to their destination?
No, for the most part, they go to Nuevo Laredo and unhook. They unhook in Nuevo Laredo.
Well, those guys that do it, I mean, those guys are gonna be hit, they're gonna hurt them really bad. Because it's not a, you know, it's the local drayage companies that, small and pop guys that are going across the border doing that.
Traffic tickets start at $325.
Yeah.
I would suggest letting them through and just, you know, you're already marketing to them, letting them know they're low on their account. Now you're hitting them, hey, you've got a past due account and we're going to increase the fine, or it's going to be an additional payment if you don't pay by the next day or something. Because
I would not suggest, I would not suggest
No,
letting anybody go negative
no.
at the bridge.
Yeah, no.
If
We
you don't
will-
have the money, you
right.
don't cross.
Right.
Either you pay cash or they go deposit.
Right.
And if it's if we do decide as a committee to fine them something, then they have to pay the fine also
Right.
in order for them to cross.
Right.
Whatever the fine may be.
Right.
I think, excuse me, we have to be more modern. I think we have to, first of all, eliminate cash. It has to be a cashless bridge by all
Okay,
means.
there's no cash in the lanes, it's all
Yeah, no,
automatic.
but not even walking, not even in the
Oh.
ticket counter, o sea, not even $1 in cash, nothing. It has to be a system where you apply with a credit card, where you apply with a debit card, because everyone has a bank.
Right,
Everyone so
should have a
right.
should have a bank.
Right, right.
But
there's
I
a
mean,
lot of still
Right, that
people that
use
pay
cash.
cash.
Yes, we
yeah,
have
but
the,
we
Doesn't
have.
make sense.
What doesn't make sense? Send them to Colombia, to the other. Yeah, send the guys that want to pay cash to Colombia, and then
well, we
the
have the
guys that.
customer service center for them to get down or go before they cross to pay to deposit into their account.
If you don't mind me asking, how many people per se do you think pay you cash still? 50% of the people?
I wouldn't have that number on the commercial. Most of them are credit card or checks. Big companies deposit thousands of dollars. Hey, these are my tolls for the week, for the month, and they send us a check. They use credit card. But the smaller.
And can we say that 80% of the companies are Mexican companies, or do you know much the rate for Mexican companies and the US companies that are using the toll?
Right, no, I don't have.
But I would say probably more 80%, 90% Mexican. So that's what we can.
Most probably would be Mexican trucking companies.
They're Mexicans because all of them are transfers, so they should be Mexican companies.
Well, one of the reasons you don't let them through because you are going to collect.
I have a question. Okay, so I'm looking at the diagram. If they come up to the booth and they don't have enough money, then why make them drive around and park? Why not just make them get off their vehicle and walk? Because that's only one lane that they're blocking up, and let the rest of the traffic continue while they get off and go deal what they have to do. If they don't have the money to pay it and take care of it, then they have to turn around. But if they're already in the lane and they mess up, give them like a $5 penalty or like an additional, but let them walk over there in the whatever, pay it, and then get in their car and take off.
We can.
Because that's faster
We have an area here,
else.
so we can kind of start looking into that instead of getting them all the way out and either parking here or out. We'll let them kind of stay here, but still they're, by that, I mean, they're here.
But no, they stay at the bridge,
Yeah.
they stay in their booth, and they're holding up one lane, but they're not holding up.
I have personally crossed that, and a security guard from the bridge has to escort you through the whole thing.
Yes.
So you're still gonna hold up everybody because of safety reasons. They walk with me. I have walked that, especially where the little walking thing is there, the little.
They would have to be here.
Everyone.
So we still have to hold traffic to get the driver to walk
You
across.
can't just let him go through. It's a safety.
Another option.
Park here and go deposit and then go back. Yes.
Are these booths are not manned, right? Each booth, I know there's somebody there like servicing, but every booth is not manned, right?
Most of our booths are manned.
So how what would be the problem to adding a credit card machine on each booth and charging them a plus, because of course you don't want anybody to abuse the system and pay one by one. But right there, it'll take probably 2 minutes to swipe their credit card, and charging them a $20 fee.
Right, but we don't want any mode of payment in the toll booths, because right now with our ABI program, if they have funds in the account, it takes 16 seconds to process a trailer, sometimes less. It's quick. We have increased volume of traffic. If we start taking payments in the booths, we're gonna stack them up like
the participation in the ABI.
No. But if you use a credit card, if you have to pay by credit card, you're gonna pay double, like a $25 fee. So I'm guessing it will reduce the people taking advantage of that and the one to use the 80. But on emergencies, you're gonna take 2 minutes, but not 8 minutes of stopping and having them go all through. I'm just trying to, it's because credit card machines are really easy. And I understand your point that you don't want people only using that. So if you charge a $25, $30 fee, that's taking away their profit for the crossing. So, because, so I don't think they'll do it really frequently unless it's an error or something, but I don't know if that would help or not. That was just an idea. I'm just thinking on the bigger picture of just flowing and reducing those 5 to 6 minutes of the U-turn.
I have another idea. What happens if we just give them a fine, as Milo is saying, not a fine, an extra charge, but the ABI would let them go, but they would charge them like, let's say $30 more for every time that they go low on balance, and see what is their mainly crossing. How many trucks does that company crosses a day? Let's say 10. Okay, we will let them pass 10 times, but we will charge them extra. And then if they don't make it, then at the end of the day, the account could be set on hold until they make the payment on full. So if this happens, they will have to pay extra for each time they cross, but we won't have to bring the trucks back, and the flow will go and it won't be stopped. And the other thing is they were telling about like the light, green, red, and yellow. Every time that they cross at the point, they have that light, and the drivers know. But what they do is, hey, it's on yellow. Hey, let me see if I can make it one more time, and they just go. So probably that could be another solution to the problem.
My only concern with this solution is, are we doing this to facilitate the people that do not take care of their business and take care of their accounts, or to move the traffic? I mean, we need to educate the people that are using the ABI. They have to track their accounts. They have to put money in there. If they don't have money, they have to put the credit card. Right. But then those 483 U-turns that you have, it's out of how many trucks? 8,000 trucks a day, and times 30 days. Right. So we're looking for a solution for 483 people that doesn't take care of their accounts. Right.
But probably those 483 costs us, 4,000 minutes, or 2,000 minutes in backlog.
Yes, but if you start like putting a penalty, they're gonna lose the income of that crossing, and they're gonna be taking care of their ABI. Otherwise, we are putting everything for them not to take care of their ABI or the phone. Right.
But we're charging them. That's why we
will charge them extra. We'll charge them extra if they do so. So they will have to know that they will have to pay more if they go under that point.
Yeah, at the moment they are going to pay more because they didn't put funds. They are going to start, yes, they're going to take care of that. And that should be our goal. Right. Not for us to facilitate how they pay because they don't have funds. Right. How to educate them to take care and to have funds all the time. Correct.
¿Quién tiene una pregunta? ¿Quién de aquí de la Junta tiene transfers y tiene choferes de transfers? ¿Quién?
Sí.
¿Qué porcentaje de los choferes, con todo respeto, que tienen ustedes de transfers, creen ustedes que van a decir, yo trabajo para tal persona, mi patrón no depositó, déjame, yo pongo mi tarjeta para pagar el cruce y la multa? Yo no creo que eso va a pasar. Es muy difícil que un chofer vaya a decir, sí, déjame. No van a hacer eso. Es algo que yo lo veo de esa manera. Está difícil.
Lo de la tarjeta no, pero al final de cuentas, si les cobras el dinero más por haberse ido abajo del límite, eso sí, porque se va a cobrar como si fuera una multa. Si traes sobrepeso, ABI no te va a perdonar y te va a cobrar la multa de sobrepeso y le pone a la cuenta y se va negativa. Entonces, de la misma forma, si lo dejas cruzar, no se detiene el flujo de cruce, pero les cobras extra por haber sido abajo. Entonces, si quieren estar abajo, pues será problema por una mala administración, pero a final de cuentas les costará más. Y entonces, como dice Mónica, los educas para que pongan dinero suficiente para que no les esté pasando eso.
Yo creo que sí debemos de implementar un incentivo para el prepay, para el prepago, y una multa para los que están obstruyendo el tráfico. Exacto. Del lado mexicano, cuando tenemos una incidencia o algo, nos mandan a castigados y nos cobran una multa barata, ¿verdad? De 500 pesos, pero al fin y al cabo nos cobran la multa. Y contestándole a Jerry, muchos choferes sí pagan de su bolsa porque se quieren ir.
So I guess we have the ideas. We had mentioned that we would leave it for the next session, right? We were just I wanted the idea of how much would be a ballpark number. The $50 fine, I think that's fine. I think we just have to set up if we do it a one-time warning, a two-time warning, or what it is. But yeah, we have to make it hurt and educate them to make sure their accounting department keeps up with balance on their AVI.
Ms. Limon, is there a way that we can check that report that you gathered of those 400 plus cases? Maybe we can analyze that information, and the committee can suggest a tailor-made system that for those trucking companies that maybe have like 1 or 2 trucks, maybe we will set up some profile with specific minimums on their account. And those large companies that maybe they have one incident at the best, maybe send a warning or a fine.
I have a question. So I'm looking at the diagram here. What if somebody doesn't have the money and you say, okay, everybody hold your truck, and the truck from whatever lane comes right here? Isn't this a road? Why can't they come in here and come around?
It's too narrow for them to go into here and then do this turn. Even our maintenance trucks have a hard time doing this U-turn, this turn here. It's just a very small, narrow road for our lawnmowers and that type of equipment here.
So, and who owns this land here? Is this ours? Here, a bay?
That's a big
Where
hill.
they come off here? No, it's a hill?
Yeah. Behind that area there, that is a large hill. The berm between the residential.
So there's no way to loop them around without, because it seems like without stopping and then having them come around is too disruptive, but.
So I guess get a cost on what it would cost to put a reader of money at the checkpoint and see how expensive that would be, and that may be and of course maybe after a couple of times, a fine. If it's the same guy every day, then
if he gets fined once, it's going to happen again.
Yeah.
And they don't make that much money on the transfer.
As Mr. also was saying, probably if we pinpoint the average for each company, we can suggest that they have to have like a minimum on the account, let's say $100, $1,500, $300, and so they can always have their account with sufficient funds so they don't go low. And then on the second hand, if they go low and then they don't make a payment, we can charge them this extra fee for not having the amount at the time of the crossing.
Right. Some of these accounts, they have multiple drivers. So if I get there today and I get the yellow light, then the drivers behind them may not know that the driver in front of them has a yellow. So by the time the others come through, there's no funds already. So it's just a communication between the owner of the ABI account and their drivers.
I think
but there's a point. Sorry. There's a point there. Obviously, they're like, let's say, 10 trucks that are online, and the last one won't know what will be the balance for the other one. But if we analyze the data, and let's say for that company, they usually cross 10 times a day or 30 times a day, 40 times a day. So they have to keep balance for 40 times the crossing fee for the $24. So that could be a solution. And we can suggest them, hey, you have to have around this type of money. If we make a system telling, hey, what's your average crossing times? Let's say I have 60, 40, 30, then there will be a suggestion so they can keep up that balance on their accounts. I don't know if I was clear.
Yes, sir, you were. Thank you.
Also, if there's a way to monitor what companies are. Yes. I know that you're not monitoring, but it's.
We do monitor.
How many companies is it?
I don't have
You're speaking of a lot of companies. It's not just a small amount.
But it's drainage companies that are local drainage companies.
Right.
We'll go back and we'll analyze and we'll see how many account holders.
For you to come back for a proposal or something, or is that not proper? Just come back for.
Yes, for that.
Please correct me.
It could be like a small quote on the account, a small quoting chapter that you can enter. How many crossings do you do daily? So that should be your average balance on the account. So they can get into good administration and they won't go low on funds.
I'd like to make a motion that we have Mrs. Limon in our next session make a proposal to what she recommends based on her knowledge, her experience, and as well as anybody else that wants to come to the table for whether it be fines or how to, with options. Yes.
I second the motion. If we could check statistics with the companies, if there's one or two repetitive, also like, because every company can have an accident that doesn't have funds, right? If they're repetitive, the same company.
Okay. Do you want to modify your motion to include her suggestion?
To see if it's the same companies always, most of the time.
That's
part of the analysis.
That's a part of the analysis. She's going to come back with her proposals and also find out which companies are the ones that stick out the most that are doing that.
Yes, and I think that we have to think on the long run to have a database of every driver, their cell phone. Every driver has a cell phone. So if we can communicate with this company and all the drivers, okay, your balance is low, and not only for that, for any emergency, for any situation, for any traffic, whatever, we'll have communication with all these drivers. So if they're here in Laredo and we want to make an announcement or just say you have any balance, your company doesn't have any balance or whatever, the bridge is shut down, don't come or whatever, we need to start thinking an app to have the drivers register that truck with their cell phone.
Have a blue amber alert.
Yes,
the city sends out.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is the city has a list where you can sign up for alerts, and then I think our tech person can send out.
It should be law that they need to.
Yeah, but do we need to vote on the motion first and before we are?
He can modify it to include looking into making that, and then that would be part of the motion.
So then you got to take back your second lease.
No, not yet. Adding to the motion.
I think Gonzalo's idea, but that's an idea that it's a separate idea. The motion Mr. Puig said is just to have Ms. Limon come back next meeting with a plan and we could move it there. But what Gonzalo's saying, I think is a different idea on the charges and everything. You know, this is a great idea, but I think it's a totally different subject.
Sí, pero creo que después de la moción que puso Mr. Puig estamos en discussion y está bien. Yo estoy de acuerdo con Mr. Puig en el sentido de que parece que varios de nosotros nos falta algo de información y quizá la pudiéramos recabar para tener mayor solidez. Nada más sí quiero complementar algo. La multa y el subir la tarifa o poner un extra no nos ayuda con las filas. ¿Sí? Seguiríamos en lo que levantan la multa y todo, seguiríamos castigando a la gente que está en la fila y que sí tiene el dinero. Yo sugiero que sí deberíamos de pensar en un carril de retorno, que ese sí sería un castigo para el que no lleva el dinero de volverse a formar. Pero sí
¿Ya se devuelve?
Sí, por eso que lo regresen y se vuelva a formar, pero que sea de una forma más expedita, más rápida.
Sí, pero Rafa,
sí, dime.
Ese es el problema que estamos teniendo, que les está ocasionando de 4, 6, 8 minutos y regresarse. Y como no se les multa, pues no aprenden. Entonces tenemos que enforzar una multa para que aprendan y que el chofer no le importa. El que está perdiendo el dinero es el dueño de la línea. El dueño de la línea con esas multas tiene que ponerse con su equipo de contabilidad y asegurar eso. Entonces ese es el tema.
Sí, yo creo que sí la deberíamos de posponer para la siguiente agenda y la información que nos falta, pues pedírsela a Miss Limón, que es muy amable. Gracias. Thank you.
Por una sugerencia de hoy, que a lo mejor puede cambiar el puente, es si llegas al toll booth y no tienes dinero, no darle la opción de que se regrese y se estacione y pague. Automáticamente sacarlo y que se vuelva a formar. Ahí yo digo que si yo soy el operador, yo le voy a hablar a mi patrón y le voy a decir, oye, necesito que deposites, o sea, porque ya no me van a dar chance de pagar, ahora me tengo que ir a hacer fila y si llego otra vez ahí, me van a volver a regresar. A lo mejor esa opción de ahorita que el puente implementar mañana, ¿sabes qué? Si sale rojo, vas para atrás, y si traes dinero, pues vuélvete a formar. Eso puede ser una solución ahorita rápida de a lo mejor o solucionar un poquito más rápido.
Sí, creo que el retorno sí estaría en nuestras manos. Tanto la multa como el incremento de alguna penalización necesitaría ir a Cabildo y llevaría más tiempo. Por eso insisto, trabajar más en un carril de retorno, pero que sea más rápido regresarlos. Gracias.
Rafa, pero es que a final de cuentas, el tema de regresarlos y poner un retorno, no hay suficiente infraestructura como para dar la vuelta y regresarlos. Es muy buena idea, pero no tienes cómo regresarlos. Y si los van a regresar, tienen que parar, como bien dicen, el tráfico, hacer toda la maniobra para sacarlo y regresarlo y hacer lo que se vaya. Entonces, eso pierde todo el tiempo del flujo de los camiones que están cruzando. Entonces, nos saldría contraproducente esa parte. Si hubiera, digo, una ruta específica en donde sí puedan dar la vuelta, pues no habría problema, pero no hay cómo regresarlos y que el flujo siga fluyendo, o sea, tienen que pararlo.
Eso es lo que hay que buscar, esa es tarea de nosotros, cómo buscar que el flujo siga y lo finalices, pero que el flujo siga. Ese es mi punto.
Es lo que yo les proponía, que el sistema al tener ahí, ¿cómo se llama? La cuenta en balance negativo, les cobre ahí la tarifa y se vaya el camión, ya lo dejaste ir. Y por decir, le vas a dejar hasta un N cantidad de camiones que permitan cruzarse en un saldo negativo y al final del día se le cobrará la tarjeta de crédito y si no se le suspende la cuenta. Pero al final de cuentas es lo mismo cuando cobran una multa. O sea, si tú cobran la multa, hay que pagarla directamente a la misma cuenta. Entonces, yo creo que eso lo resuelve y el flujo sigue caminando y no lo paras.
Well, we'll look into all these options. So we have a motion.
There's a second also.
Yeah. Any other discussion? Any other discussion on the motion?
No.
Starting implementing going back to the back of the line for red lights, is that something you guys could do?
We already do that.
But no, not give him the option of you have money,
Park and
stop
pay.
and pay. No.
Right. Go all the way to
Everybody,
the back.
if you
and-
get a red light, you go back,
Yeah.
whether
Yeah.
they have money or not. Maybe that would start helping
Right.
sooner.
Right.
That has been
We've been-
implemented for.
No,
for
yes,
years
but
now.
if they tell you they have money, you let them stop and pay. You let them
Right.
park right there, right?
Right.
Well, a lot of those customers know that they don't have money in their account, so they're gonna park. They're gonna come in
Beforehand.
and they're gonna park right here
Right.
because they know they have to go make a payment, and we allow that.
Of course,
That doesn't-
yes.
Right, that doesn't stop
Yes.
the traffic because we have the area next to the static scale where they
I
park
agree.
there, go deposit, so when they get to the booth, they're good to go.
So my suggestion was, once they get to the actual
Toll booth.
toll booth and they have a red light,
We set them
you
all the way
don't
out.
give them an option to go back and pay. You just,
We
they,
don't.
oh,
We
they
already
automatically,
do that.
oh, they don't, they
Automatically.
can't go, the driver can't go and say I have money. Oh,
No.
okay. And they're still doing it 483 times. Wow.
That's, yeah.
Has to be pocket. Hit
Yeah.
the pocket.
Yeah. Right.
It's hard, but
We've been providing notices to the drivers, take them to your bosses, the account holders, so that they know. But some days we don't have, and some days we do, it just varies.
So, I think, for you to bring back some information
Right.
on the next one. so-
Right.
And I
So-
think everybody,
They seconded in the discussion, so, a vote on the motion for me to bring, more information and proposal to the next committee meeting.
In favor?
With all the recommendations and suggestions that all the committee members brought forth during this discussion.
Hi.
Just to concur with the next meeting date of September
Correcto.
15th.
is
Correct.
there any, the meeting date, we
Septiembre
can,
15. A ver, ¿qué día es septiembre 15, por favor?
You can,
and I think this overlap with several events with the consulado and
with the festivities
Yes.
for,
So let's,
I think,
August?
I think August,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you want it on?
I think so,
Well,
special
okay.
meeting in August.
Okay,
Because we still have to approve a chairman and a vice chairman.
Yeah.
also.
yeah, well, we
Or
have,
we could do
we
that.
won't have those committee members because the agenda is already out unless we still have time and these council members point for
August.
District 1, 2, and 3.
August 2nd is the next,
Right.
council meeting, so
So
we
they
should,
have this week to
yes. So we should do it the week
appoint
of,
somebody.
August 9th through 13th, if you all are available.
I also have a question regarding meetings. So and the agenda items to be included on the agenda or how to you?
we send them to you.
What would be your cutting time for receiving agenda items?
72 hours before the next meeting date.
Prior to,
Yeah,
because I have to
anytime.
post 72 hours
So
prior to, 72 hours prior to, so I would need it, kind of like we do council, we have a cutoff, so I would say by Wednesday, if the agenda needs to be posted the Friday for a meeting on Wednesday,
so one.
I would need them the Wednesday prior to the meeting. Mhm.
And what day, is it always gonna be on a Wednesday? Do we vote on that now? Is it always gonna be on a Tuesday or it can change?
Is it always gonna be at 6 also, or is it? gonna be
Yes.
Later, earlier? I don't know what everybody's schedule.
Yeah.
Poll.
Right now, I
Yeah.
have to check
So
on.
can we think of that for next
Yes,
meeting?
Yes,
So that we can bring
because like
suggestions?
today, we had our meeting and traffic safety had their meeting and ours was also supposed to be council chambers. So, I'm working with our city secretary so that, because there are several committees and they've been indicating that they want them here at council chambers. So I'm working with him to see what days.
Yeah, we would like, if you can give us options for next meeting also on, because I personally would like to have this on my schedule
Right.
beforehand, because
Right.
we have to plan ahead a lot of things. We're blessed and sometimes, it's not gonna work.
Right.
I would like to make a proposal I don't know if it's possible to, until we have a different option, let's say we can make a meeting every Wednesday at the end of each month.
Es buena idea. Hay second proposition del señor Teach.
No, just give us options.
Yeah.
Wednesdays won't work for me forever. It is just, as a personal note, so I would like to see.
Will work for you?
No, Wednesday.
Me neither. Wednesday, it's the big time.
Busy time
Yeah.
for you.
Well,
on Wednesday, okay?
There is a motion for that, but what if we were to modify it to take a poll of the members?
Yes.
Yes.
What days?
Poll the
Right.
members of
Right.
best day and time,
Right.
and then we can kind of go with the majority.
Right. Email me your proposed best day and time for our meetings. And then I'll gather that information and.
Or Ms. Limon, my suggestion is, can you create a Google Doc? Let's create a Google document and we send it to you all and you guys can fill it in with your, your name and you can pick there or.
Is there a chat that we could create? Can you create a chat where it's the people that are on the committee and we could communicate with one another? Also in that chat, everybody knows what it is.
I don't think so. I don't think we can do that because of the open.
Open
Oh,
meetings
okay.
If it's a quorum.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You're right. That's fine.
Okay,
Good call.
just, yeah.
See?
We'll do the Google document and we'll get them all up there and
Thank you, no chat.
set a date that is agreeable with everybody because I know you all have busy schedules, but I'll do that. Yeah. And then we'll let you know ahead of time on the next.
Look, should we set up at minimum our next meeting?
Well,
She's gonna send some proposal dates.
No, but right now he's right.
Oh.
So the next meeting is September 15th.
So we said
But
that
if we're-
that's a
It's
good
too
date.
far. So what date will work for everyone on August? What will be our?
The week of August 9th to the 13th and,
Or the 16th through the 20th.
or the following week, or any week,
The
and
latter part
any
of the
day in
week is
August.
harder. There's more activity the latter
So-
part of the week. So it could be on a Tuesday or Wednesday.
The week of the 16th or the 23rd.
I agree with that one.
I agree too.
The 16th to the 23rd,
So
I'm agree with that one.
maybe August the 17th on Tuesday?
On Tuesday? Yeah.
Maybe
that's
23,
good.
23,
17th?
23, 23.
It's a Monday.
No, 17. El 17
17.
de agosto en la tarde. El martes 17 de agosto.
At what time?
In the
Pues-
evening and.
5:30?
Same time,
Same time?
same time.
Earlier? Later?
6.
6?
6?
No,
6?
6. Okay.
Okay.
Is that a form of a motion, Luis?
Yes, yes.
Okay, is there a second for set the meeting of August 17th at 6?
Second.
There's a second. Can I have a
In
vote?
favor. In favor.
Favor.
Favor?
Favor, okay.
Favor.
Aye.
Item is to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion has been seconded, so we adjourn at 7.
Anybody against?
Anybody against?
Nice to meet all you guys.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you. See you
Thank
soon.
you.
Thank you.
See you soon.
Thank
you
you.
guys. Bye.